My name is Catherine Allen. I'm 29 years old. 14 years ago, on a freezing December night, my mother looked straight through me and said, "If you walk out that door, don't ever come back." I was 15, standing there with just my backpack. The reason? My younger sister told a lie. A perfect, calculated lie that my parents believed without a single question. And just like that, I was erased. 4 hours later, they got a call from the emergency room. I'd collapsed from hypothermia. When Dad walked into that ER and saw who was holding my hand, his face went pale and his hands started shaking. You shouldn't be here. How is she?" The person beside my bed was Professor Margaret Chen, one of the most respected education advocates in the country. She'd found me unconscious and refused to leave. That night changed everything. Last spring, I stood on stage at my sister's graduation as the keynote speaker. My parents had no idea I was coming. Before I tell you what happened when they saw me, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy this story. Also, I'd love to know where you're watching from and what time it is there. Drop a comment below. Now, let me take you back to where it all started. I learned early that in our house, Brooklyn's tears were louder than my achievements. When I was 12, I won a citywide writing competition. My essay beat over 200 entries. I was so excited. I ran home clutching the certificate, burst through the door, and found Mom folding laundry. "Mom, I won! First place in the whole city!" She smiled briefly. "That's great, honey." Then Brooklyn walked in from practice, 13 years old, face red, tears streaming. Coach benched me. Everyone saw. I'm so embarrassed. Mom's attention left me completely. She dropped the laundry and pulled Brooklyn close. "Oh, sweetheart, that's awful. Coach doesn't understand how talented you are." I stood there holding my certificate. Nobody asked about it. That was the pattern. Brooklyn needed more. Brooklyn was sensitive. Brooklyn required constant attention. I learned to celebrate quietly, to need less, to disappear. By 14, I'd stopped sharing my achievements. Straight A's couldn't compete with Brooklyn's drama. When I got accepted into a prestigious summer writing program, full scholarship, I was thrilled. Dad barely looked up. "That's nice, Catherine." Brooklyn's eyes filled with tears. "Why does she get special things? What about me?" Mom squeezed Brooklyn's shoulder. "Catherine, maybe you could skip it. Your sister needs you here." "I need you here," Brooklyn finished. I didn't go to the program. They called it being supportive, being mature. I called it erasing myself. But I told myself just survive until college. 2 more years. I was wrong. The lying started small. Brooklyn would borrow my things, then deny it. "I never touched your jacket. Why are you always accusing me?" Even when it was in her closet, Mom would sigh. "Catherine, stop creating problems." Then money disappeared from Dad's wallet. $60. Brooklyn mentioned she'd seen me near Dad's coat. I hadn't been anywhere near it. Dad called me into the den. "Did you take money from my wallet?" "No, I didn't." "Brooklyn says she saw you." "Brooklyn's lying, Dad." His jaw clenched. "Don't blame your sister to cover for yourself." "I'm not covering anything." "Enough, Catherine. I expected better from you." I lost my phone for 6 weeks. The college prep class I'd been promised? Canceled. Brooklyn watched from the hallway. When my parents turned away, she smirked. The pattern got worse. A broken frame? My fault. Brooklyn failing a test? I should have helped more. A rumor at school that Brooklyn cheated? I must have started it. I stopped defending myself. What was the point? They believed her every single time. By 15, I felt invisible unless someone needed someone to blame. I started staying late at school, anywhere but home. Just survive until graduation. 1 more year. December, sophomore year, there was a guy at school named Ryan. He was in my AP history class. Smart, funny, kind. He asked me to partner on a research project. We worked together in the library after school. That was it. Just schoolwork. Brooklyn had been obsessed with Ryan for months. Completely obsessed. She'd walk past his locker just to see him. On Wednesday, Ryan caught me at my locker. "Hey, thanks for finding those sources. You saved our project." I smiled. "No problem." "Want to grab coffee this weekend and finalize everything?" "Sure, sounds good." He walked away. I turned and saw Brooklyn staring at me. Her face was cold, empty. That night at dinner, she was eerily quiet. Just pushed food around. Mom kept asking if she felt okay. Brooklyn would shrug. That silence was more dangerous than her tears. Friday, a week later. Weather forecast warned of a major storm. Everyone was preparing. Brooklyn still wasn't speaking to me. After dinner, I went upstairs to finish homework. Around 8:30, I heard crying downstairs. Brooklyn, loud, desperate sobs. Catherine. Dad's voice cut through the house. Get down here right now. My stomach dropped. I walked downstairs slowly. Brooklyn was on the couch, face buried in Mom's shoulder. Dad stood by the bookshelf, arms crossed, face dark. What's happening? I asked. Brooklyn looked up, eyes swollen. But for just a second, I saw something else. Satisfaction. Tell her what you told us, Dad said coldly. Brooklyn's lip trembled. Why do you hate me so much? What? I don't hate you. Then why have you been spreading rumors about me? That I'm a liar? That I'm jealous? My brain stuttered. What? I never… Don't lie, Mom said sharply. I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Brooklyn pulled out her phone. Then explain this. Screenshots of messages, supposedly from me, saying horrible things about Brooklyn. My name, my picture, words I'd never use. I didn't write those. Someone faked my account. Stop lying, Dad snapped. And Ryan, Brooklyn whispered. You knew I liked him, but you went after him anyway. We're project partners, that's all. You've been flirting with him, trying to steal him. We're working on schoolwork, nothing more. You're trying to ruin my life. Brooklyn stood. And last week you pushed me down the stairs, look. She pulled up her sleeve. A dark purple bruise covered her forearm. I stared in shock. I never touched you. You did. I didn't want to say anything, but Mom, she's been hurting me. I didn't. I would never. Then how did she get that bruise? Dad demanded. I don't know. Maybe she did it herself. Brooklyn's eyes went wide. Fresh tears. You think I'd hurt myself just to frame you? Yes, because this is what you do. You've been lying about me for years. Dad stepped toward me. Is this what you've become? A bully? No, please, just listen. I've heard enough. He slammed his hand down. Enough excuses. Please. You're sick, Dad said. The word hit like a knife. Something is wrong with you. I'm not sick. You need help, but right now, I need you out of my sight. Wind rattled the windows, temperature dropping dangerously. Dad, it's freezing. There's a storm. I don't care. Where am I supposed to go? Figure it out. He pointed to the door. Get out. I don't need a sick daughter in this house. Sick daughter. Like I was broken. I looked at Mom. Say something. She turned away, kept her arm around Brooklyn. I grabbed my jacket, hands shaking. The door slammed behind me. Through the window, I saw Brooklyn watching. She wasn't crying anymore. She was smiling. Wait, before I continue, I need to ask. Have you ever been blamed for something you didn't do? Have family members believed lies about you? Drop a yes or no in the comments. And if you're enjoying this, please hit that like button. Now back to what happened next. The cold hit like a wall. Brutal. Within seconds, my face was numb. I stood on the porch waiting. Maybe Dad would come after me. The door stayed closed. I started walking. Nowhere to go, just away. My phone buzzed. Battery at 9%. I tried calling friends. No answer. It was Friday night. Everyone was home, safe, warm. Not me. The wind cut through my jacket like it wasn't there. I headed toward the library. Maybe I could wait there. It was closed. Dark. Locked. The bus station was 3 miles away. I started walking. Each step hurt. My shoes weren't made for this cold. I kept moving because stopping meant freezing. The streets were empty. The wind screamed. My face felt like it was burning and freezing simultaneously. Maybe he was right. Maybe something was wrong with me. Why else would they choose Brooklyn every time? The bus station was still 2 miles away. My phone died. No GPS, no contact, just me and freezing darkness. I didn't realize how bad it was until I couldn't feel my hands. I kept walking, but slower, unsteady. My thoughts got fuzzy. There was a convenience store ahead. Lights on. I stumbled toward it. My legs gave out. I collapsed on the frozen pavement. Couldn't get up. The cold wasn't painful anymore. That scared me. I heard a car door. Footsteps running. Oh my God, can you hear me? A woman's voice. I tried to answer. Couldn't. Stay with me. I'm calling for help. Her hands were warm. I blinked. Her face was blurry. She looked familiar. What's your name? Catherine. My voice sounded distant. I'm Margaret. You're going to be okay. Margaret, Professor Chen from school. My parents don't want me. Her face changed. What? They said I'm sick, told me to leave. My eyes were closing. My sister lied. You're 15 years old. Why would they? They believed her. I heard her voice break. You're not sick. Do you hear me? You're not sick. Sirens in the distance. Her face was the last thing I saw before everything went black. Thank you so much for staying until the end. What happens next will shock you. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss part 2 where I reveal what happened when my parents saw me on that graduation stage. Drop a